The strongest force in the universe is called compound effect. And this means that you combine several things together and they create an accelerating effect. So I created this kind of habit pyramid when you learn Korean. In the first stage, like on the bottom, you do self-study. So you have to find a very good way as a foundation. And therefore I created the Korean Alchemy. You can check it out in another video. And this means that you learn from real conversations. And this is comprehensible input. So it means that everything that comes after the first stage, you can always fall back. You know, if you're like in a bad mood, you're getting rejected, whatsoever, you can always go back to self-study and continue your journey. And on the second level, we build vocabulary. So we want to take the vocabulary out from our self-study and learn them every day. And this is very good because when we learn from real conversations and get the vocabulary there, we can already easily remember them, understand them easier. And, you know, sometimes you have one vocabulary, but it can really depend on the context if you can use it or not. And then on the third level, we had a teacher. So in the beginning, you're very unconfident in speaking your language. So in order to fix that, there's nothing else better there than a teacher, because a teacher, the only purpose of them is that they give you confidence. Yeah, and if you compare talking with a stranger to talking with a teacher, it's a tremendous difference. And the teacher is there, they have like some creative understanding, they can even understand you if you're not making the perfect correct sentence, while a Korean native maybe just only understand you when you make this in the perfect. And therefore I really recommend to start out with a teacher and do this for, let's say, 2 months. And then you can go to Korean natives and you can find them on an online language exchange. That's the whole magic. So even if you go to Korea, if you move to Korea, you still need a solution to practice Korean speaking every day. It's absolutely crucial to practice speaking every day. And teachers are very limited. It's not so much fun, and we all want to find friends, you know, somehow. And if you want to find Korean friends, then there's nothing better than language exchange. So on top of that, on level 4, we add the online language exchange, and therefore I recommend HelloTalk. And so here comes the compound effect, that you do all of those 4 things on one day. So first you start doing a self-study. I done a lot of 60 minutes every day. Then right after that, I had my new vocabulary. I started with 4, then 5, then 6, and then I gradually increased the number of new vocabularies. And then I practiced directly with a teacher after that for 30 minutes. And then I went directly onto HelloTalk and started speaking with strangers for like 30 minutes, sometimes for 60 minutes, but really after like in total 1.5 hour speaking Korean, I was completely dead. But all of that together, you see, it's kind of like 2 hours practicing Korean every day. And here comes the compound effect, because if you do one thing, let's say here only the self-study, then your progress is like 100%. This means if you do 60 minutes Korean study every day and you only do self-study, then you have a progress speed of 100%. And we take this as a benchmark now. When you go to the next one, now we're adding the vocabulary, and both is now supporting each other. So because when you found a vocabulary inside the TV show and then you practice them and then they come again in the TV show, it's supporting each other. So let's say you, instead of 60 minutes self-study, you do 45 minutes self-study and 50 minutes new vocabulary. Then the progress is 110% of each, and together the progress is 121%. And this is the compound effect. Now it's getting interesting, because now we're adding all of this stuff together. And next we're adding a teacher now. So they are now supporting each other again, because when you practice with a teacher, then you can use the vocabulary that you used, that you learned, and then what you practice with speaking with a teacher, you can find in a TV show again, and then you accelerate it with 120%. And if you multiply those different strategies again together, then we have 173%. Yeah, this is the compound effect, because 20% multiplied with 120% and multiplied with 120% again is together 173%. And now here comes the really interesting part, is at the end, when we speak now to natives. Yeah, 130% multiplied 4 times is 286%. So seriously, if you do all of those things together, then you pretty much triple your learning speed. Yeah, and if you ask me like when should I start speaking with a teacher or stranger, day one. Absolutely. Like if you wanna have the biggest progress, you should do it day one. But because we are building this habit pyramid slowly, so I recommended doing at least like 1 week. Absolutely minimum is 1 week, 1 week self-study, and then after 1 week you add the vocabulary, and then after 1 week you add the teacher, and after 1 week you add the voice room, the Korean natives. Because when you add this too much all at once, and then your brain is shocked by that, and then resistance, and then you start really like forgetting about all of that. And in order to avoid that, we have to gradually increase those stuff. And even when it comes to vocabulary, you're motivated. You say, "Oh, I can learn 10 new vocabulary today," but your brain gets shocked by that, and then you quit learning vocabulary altogether. Therefore, really slowly increase the number. Maybe start out self-study with 30 minutes, increase it to 45 minutes, and then to 60 minutes. Really taking steps is the most important part into building this kind of habit, that it becomes a part of you and that you can build this habit pyramid, because it's all paying out at the end, that you can use the compound effect. And at some point you don't need a teacher anymore, then you can quit the teacher, but you can still use the compound effect. Because like really with a teacher you can get stuck easily, because it's just the same person again, you speak the same topics and you get stuck very quickly. And the real progress comes to speaking to strangers, to different people. And if you do this every day, really your progress will be magic. So I hope this helps, and if you want to learn more about learning Korean better, you can check out my other videos and subscribe to my channel. I'm John, and I'm here to guide you through the Korean jungle.